Hola. Hello, everyone. Hi, Queens. This is Sam here, Black Women Build Wealth. I hope that you're doing amazing. I know, again, my time to go live might not be the best for everyone, but I'm hoping that you catch the replay because today we want to talk about a very important topic, which is money goals for 2024. So this is the time of the year that most of us are taking the time to review our year. How did 2023 went? How did 2023 go? And what we want to do in 2024. And so I was reading an article a couple of days ago, and they were saying that less than 10% of people who set, goals for the new year really achieve them. However, it is still better for you to set up those goals because approximately 15% of people who have set up, the goals and actually you have more chance to achieve the goals if you actually set up goals. So again, less than 10% really achieve the goal, but you have 15% more chances of achieving the goal if you set up the goal. So to me, it's still better to go ahead and set up the goal. I know everybody feels a bit different about setting up goals for New Year. For me, it's a bit particular because my birthday is in January. So it's, for me, end of the year. I know my birthday is coming up in January. So it's also a way for me to do a review on, this last birthday year and before getting into the new birthday year. So before we get into the whole money goals for 2024, if you're new here, again, my name is Sam. I'm the host here at the Black Woman Build Wealth YouTube channel. I do talk about Black women building wealth, essentially investing and protecting their assets. One thing that I'll be talking about more going forward is saving, which is one of my goals for 2024, and also making more money and also paying down debt. So I'm also the founder of the um, Wealthy Black Women Summit. We had an amazing summit back in November. So if you haven't attended the summit, there's still time for you to get your replay pass. And the link to the replay pass is in the description below this video. So feel free to go ahead and buy your replay pass. And so you will have the chance to see all of the sessions. So we are doing our review of 2023. I'm doing it right now in December. Like I said, this is the month for me to really go through my year and kind of like think about what I want the next year to be. And also, like I said, my birthday is in January, so it's a way also for me to do a review of my last birthday year. And so, as you're joining, feel free to say hi in the chat so I know you are here. And if you have any money goals already that you have set up for 2024, feel free to share. I'll do the same as well. Before I get into the whole money goals for 2024, as you're doing your review for 2023, I really want to make sure, I want to really tell you to give yourself grace. And I'm saying that to you as I'm saying that to myself. And why? Because usually when we're doing a review on how the year went or on how anything actually went, we tend to blow out of proportion things that did not go as we wanted. And things that actually went as we wanted, we tend to not minimize it, but we just, okay, yeah, it went great. And then you move on. But I want you to do the opposite. I want you to blow out of proportion things that actually went well this year and things that did not go that great. Just say that's fine. I'm going to learn from it, and I'm just going to go back on track and do more, or maybe you will change it. And it's just really put yourself in a mindset that it's not because you were not able to achieve it that means that you cannot achieve it, or that means that essentially you are a failure. You fell at something doesn't mean that you are a failure. You just fell at something, right? So you can just revisit and be like, this is something that I still want to do. Why didn't it work? And then make sure that maybe going forward you change things a little bit and you make it happen. So really give yourself grace. I cannot say it enough. And again, I'm saying that to you, but really I'm saying that to myself as well, because we tend to bang our head against the wall and be like, here is another year where I would have wanted to do something, and here I am, essentially maybe not, I still haven't done it. Oh, Hi, Natural LID. Yes, happy Wednesday. Happy happy hump day. Virtual hug too. Virtual hug. And so again, grace to start with. The second thing that I really want you to consider as well as you setting up your money goals for 2024 is gratitude. So why gratitude? We are here. You know, if you're watching this video, that means that you're here. Hopefully, that you're healthy, that your loved ones are healthy. And just that, I think we should give gratitude. Doesn't matter that we're not able to accomplish 9 goals out of 10 that we had for this year. The most important is that you are here and that essentially there is still a way for you to go back to that particular list of goals or like that goal that you wanted to achieve and essentially achieve it. So gratitude is so important as you are embarking on this new year. And honestly, every day, right? Like, you know, every day you open your eyes or like when you go to bed, so many people unfortunately woke up in the morning, didn't make it through the day, or like, you know, went to bed at night, didn't make it through the night. And so each additional day that we are blessed with to be here, we need to give gratitude for. And as we're going to hopefully see the new year coming, it's also we need to give gratitude and be like, oh, this is a new year and I get to do this, I can do this, right? So whatever is past. And yes, you know, you can spend the rest of your life mourning over everything that you were not able to accomplish or, you know, things that you did that did not go well. But really, you're also wasting the opportunity, you're wasting the time, and essentially go back on track and being able to actually accomplish those things. So really, after grace, gratitude to really be like, I'm so happy, I'm so happy and excited that I am here and I get this opportunity to set up goals for the new year, and I'm gonna go at it and I'm gonna make things happen. And then you put it into, you know, you put it in writing, you put a plan in place, and if you need an accountability partner, you get your accountability partner and you go at it. So gratitude will be the second thing. Then, what I would suggest that you do is really take the time to sit and think. Why do you want to set up those money goals? Why exactly that particular money goal? And it's not a 5 minute exercise. Honestly, it's something that you need to take the time of. When I used to work in continuous improvement, to really understand the root cause of a problem, we'll go through an exercise which is called the 7 why. And usually we have a pen point and be like, okay, why do we have this pen point? And then we come up with an answer and be like, okay, why do we have this? So we go 7 level deep of whys to understand really what is the root cause. Because sometimes when you ask the why just one time, you might get an answer, but that doesn't mean that it's the root cause. So you go at it and you're like, I'm gonna put this in place and fix it, but really you realize that that's not the issue, right? So I'm not saying that you have to ask yourself 7 whys when you set up goals, but go over the one or the 2 whys and really find a why that is strong, that is solid. A why, like we like to say in continuous, you know, in personal development word, a why that's gonna make you cry. So essentially, you look at that why, and even if you're off track, you're like, I'm going back because this why is so important to me, right? So it's important that it's not nothing superficial. And the reason why I'm saying that is because money is emotional, money is a trigger, right? So I know my channel sometimes people are like not really comfortable coming at it because I'm talking about money, and not everybody is comfortable talking so openly about money. So that's why you really need to take the time to really write your why and making sure that it's a why that is solid, that you write in your journal, that maybe you have on your phone, you have also on your laptop, you take with you. So then anytime that you're not sure, you know, maybe things are not going the way you want, you go back to that why and like, I actually want to get out of that because of this, right? So write your why, and then make sure that it is a strong why. um let's see here. Yes, yes, yes. We need to understand our historical relationship with money too. That is true. That is, and that's something that I believe on this channel in 2024. I'm gonna dig further into, especially for us Black women. Black community in general, but Black women in particular. So I'm hoping to have guests on the channel to really dive a bit deeper on that particular topic. So thank you, Natural LID, for highlighting that. So once you have your why written, you need to believe, right? So most of the time we write something and it's so big that you just like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. If you don't believe in your why, that you want that particular money goals, you are not, not, I'm not going to say you are not going to, but it's going to be very difficult for you to actually achieve it. So it's good to have goals that actually stretch us, but not goals that are going to break us. So let's say right now you're like in $50,000 debt. If yourself, based on the income you have right now and the expenses you have right now, that you will not be able, there is no way, like very small percentage, that you're going to be able to pay off that entire $50,000 debt in 1 year. Don't put that as a money goal for 2024, because then you're setting yourself for failure already. Then come middle of the year, or like, sometime in September next year, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to forget about it because it's not happening. But from the beginning, you already set yourself for failure and you don't want to do that. So it can be a goal that's going to stretch you, but not a goal that is so big that it's really hard for you to even believe in it, right? So maybe the $50,000 debt to pay next year is not the most realistic. Maybe you want to go for 30,000 because really you have paid already in a year 20,000. So you're adding 10,000 and you think that, okay, an additional 10,000 to repay that, I can do that because I've already done 20. I'm increasing it by 10. So for 2024, my goal will be to pay off my 30,000. And that is something that it is stretching you, right? Because you have never really done it before, but it's not going to break you because essentially it is still something that you know that you can achieve if you put yourself to work, right? So very important that you believe in your goal, and for that, set up goals that are going to stretch you, but not goals that are going to actually break you. And mm, okay, so I'm not sure. I don't know if Natural ID is still here. Let me know if you can still see me. Someone is having the screen freezing. I hope it's not coming from my end, but please let me know in the chat if you guys can still see me okay. And if it's on your end, not before 10, maybe you can just reboot your device just in case. Okay, so you guys are naturally just say that I'm streaming fine. So not before 10, I'll probably suggest that you just reboot. Hopefully that actually works. Hi, Hope and Victory. Great. So again, have your why, write your why, believe in your why, and believe in it, and making sure that throughout the year you go back at it, right? We don't want to write something and then forget about it. I do believe that most of the people, I'll say the majority of the people who usually don't achieve their goals is just because, first of all, they don't write it. You just say it, you say it in the universe, okay, it's fine. But there's such a power to actually putting pen to paper. So, and if you're not a pen to paper person, then type it up, yeah, on your phone, on your laptop, like a notes or something, but have it written somewhere that is visible to you, that you can go back to, and you have it. Like my vision board that I do every year, it's like my screensaver on my laptop, my screensaver on my phone. I have it there each time that I touch my phone or that I'm on my laptop. So it's really visible. So it's not something that is like I do it once and then I forget about it for the entire year. And most of the time, most of the thing that I have on my vision board for that particular year, most of the time I actually get it. And that's because I make it so visible to me. Same thing for your goals, right? Especially for money goals, because again, money is so emotional, right? So that's what I will say before I actually go in the whole money goals for 2024. So I'll have another live on the rest other goals for 2024, but I really wanted to have a separate session for money because again, here we're talking about building wealth and mainly financial wealth. So What are my money goals for 2024? Before I share the first one, you guys will remember, and maybe I didn't explain it that much on one of my video, but currently I'm on mat leave. So I had my beautiful twins earlier this year, and I am on 1 year mat leave, which is ending January next year. So February I'm supposed to go back to work. And so here in Canada, a few years ago, the government allowed people to go to 18 months mat leave, but I only chose 12 months because I really thought that 12 months of work will be plenty and that I'll be ready to go back. Turns out that I actually wanted to stay on mat leave longer, which I could go back and change. So my employer said, yeah, if you want to stay longer for your on mat leave, so extend it from 12 months to 18 months, you can do so, which is great because then for me, I started thinking about that in August and September. And if I were able to do that, I would have been able to essentially, again, go back down somewhere in Mexico, or like, somewhere warm, and get to escape winter for the second year in the row, which is huge for me. Like I say, my birthday is in January. And since I've been in Canada, which is over 20 years, I've been celebrating my birthday in the winter. And honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And but the thing is, with extending my mat leave was essentially, so I'm grateful that with my employer, I got 12 months paid mat leave. So for 12 months, I was getting paid as if I was working 100% of my salary, just to be, not just, but like to be at home with my little ones and care for them. And so they say, yeah, you can extend from 12 months to 18 months, but the additional 6 months is not paid. Homegirl was not ready for that. I had, I of course, I felt like, they were not gonna pay me an additional 6 months full to stay home, but somehow I felt like, maybe they'll give me something, but no. So I can extend it, but I can't. It will be unpaid. So I'll have 6 months of unpaid mat leave, and I wasn't ready for that. I was not. So I mentioned that in one of my video. I'm very good when it comes to investing. I'm good. I know that I'm good. That's one of my superpower when it comes to building wealth. And that's how I was able to achieve Coast Fi this year, which is essentially a fully funded retirement. I don't need to add an additional dollar in my retirement fund. I know at age 65, my money will be enough to last me another 50 years. Hopefully, I make it there. But anyway, so I'm very good with investing. I'm terrible at saving. And I don't know if you can believe that, but that's essentially what that is. Essentially, I never really value saving as much than investing. So my emergency fund is almost inexistent because to me I was just like, really, if I have something that is an emergency, I'll just use my line of credit and then I'll pay it back. And that's the way I've been essentially operating. So most of my money that I was putting aside or saving was going directly into investing, which worked for me, right? Because over the years, that money grew and that money made money babies, as Coach Malika liked to say. And so that money really has been serving me well. However, now I was in a position that I could have the time, but I did not have the money. So come to find out that savings is also important. Had I had some sort of saving aside, and I'm talking about, not just 1,000 or 2,000, but like something in the tune of 20,000 or 30,000 saved, that would have been perfect because then I'll be like, yeah, no problem. I'm extending by 6 months and then I'm going down to Mexico. I'm going to live again my best life down there with my kids and everything will be good. I have that savings and then I'll be back. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I didn't have the savings. My second option was to take from my investment account, which I could still do and still be cost fi. But that to me, like in my mind, I know I'm not taking money from my future self to live my best life now. That's not the way I see it. And you guys might disagree, and that could be something that I still need to work on because I really felt like, I have been really building my future self to the detriment of my current self. Not extremely, but in a certain way, right? Because if you invest, you're investing in your future self by making some sacrifices today. And so I was like, well, first of all, the markets are really down right now. And second, why would I take money from my investment account to actually go down to Mexico for 6 months and live the life. In my mind, I just couldn't. Like, I just couldn't. So that second option, option B, was not possible. Then the third option is was to take from my HELOC, so my home equity line of credit, which has been sitting there that I've had with my house, and it's interest only, amazing, been sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I could take the money from there and then come back and pay. But really, go down to debt, just to go down to Mexico for 6 months. In my mind, my ultimate goal is to move abroad. And so if I'm going down there, but I know in 6 months I'm coming back, I'm like, no, I don't want to go down to, in debt just for that. I don't want that. So I had those three options. Either I use my savings, either I take money from my investments, or I use my line of credit. None of those options to me made sense, except the first one. But I just didn't have the money, right? Ideally, I should have had that money there to really help me live the life that I wanted. And so I really understood this year the power of savings. And to all of my American friends here who are watching this, you guys are doing it right. Usually when I watch money shows, I always wonder why American people have so much money in their savings account. Like, they have like 40,000, 50,000, and I'm like, that money should be in your investment account, not in your savings account. They got something. First of all, I guess it's also because medical expenses there can be a lot of money versus here in Canada. But second, had I been, in the position of having 40, $50,000 in my savings, and and I had that opportunity to extend my mat leave by 6 months, I'm gone. I'm not even thinking about this. I am gone. Well, that's not possible. Why am I saying all that? Welcome, HND. Yes, exactly. Sustainable move abroad. That is important. And that's why, for me, going into debt or like using my investment to go down to Mexico for 6 months, it just didn't make sense. I could have done it, and I know that, coming back, I would have been able to pay it. But I will be there, and I know for myself, I would have not been able to enjoy it as much. So I was like, you know what? I guess I don't get to escape winter this year. I get to stay here, and I get to go back to work in February, and that's perfect. That is fine. Canada is not a bad country to be in. I'm perfectly fine with it. I've been here for over 20 years. I know how things work, and I'm fine with that. So again, sustainable move abroad. And so, um, only our 3 to 6 month savings in saving. Yes, but at least you got that. That, like I say, for me, it was just like, oh no, I just don't like money sitting idle. I swear to God, I don't like money sitting idle. I'm always like, why? What is that $10,000 doing there idle? But really, when you think about it, it's for opportunities like this, right? So all of that to say, one of my money goals for 2024 is to save $10,000. $10,000. So it is a stretch for me. It is a stretch because I'm starting this new year in a position that I've never been, essentially being a single mother of three kids. So until earlier this year, I had one child, and now I have three children. And so they're starting daycare next year. I'm going back to work as well. So all of that's going to be very new to all of us. And I don't know what is life with three kids. Like, am I gonna have to buy stuff all the time because those kids grow, they grow up really fast? I have stuff for my oldest, and I have two boys as well, so I can use his clothing, but I have two, right? So I'm probably gonna have to buy stuff for them. So I'm not really sure what my life's gonna be in terms of expenses next year. And so I'm like, $10,000 is definitely a stretch for me because I've never been in a situation where I'm putting my head down and be like, I want to save $10,000. But it's going to be something that I think, if I'm very intentional and diligent with my money, I can make it happen. That's the first goal. And feel free, guys, to share in the chat here your money goals for 2024. I'd love to go over it as well. But anyway, so the first one for me is $10,000 in a savings account by end of 2024. The second for me is so here in Canada, we have an account called the TFSA, the Tax Free Savings Account, which is equivalent to the IRA for my friends in the USA. So essentially, so each year we have the contribution that is set up, and I think it's either equivalent to the IRA or the Roth IRA. I'm not 100% sure now, but essentially, it's an account that we contribute our post-tax money into. However, any gain that we have in that account are ours, so we can withdraw that money anytime and not have to pay any taxes on it. And so each year, the government will decide what is the contribution limit that we can put in that account. So right now, I'm fully funded. That account was set up in 2009, and each year they'll say, okay, you can contribute 5,000 this year, 6,000. And so this year, I believe we were able to contribute 6,500. And so next year, as of January 1st, we can contribute $7,000. So it's post-tax money. However, if I put that $7,000 in that account, and I know it's still investing, and I don't need to invest, but still, that money's gonna grow. That money's gonna grow. So if I can actually put that 7,000 in that account, and 5 years from now, that 7,000 becomes 30,000. Well, that $23,000 is entirely mine. And so it's an amazing opportunity, and I want to make sure that I actually contribute that 7,000. So that'll be probably the only investment account that I'll still be putting money into. But my I guess my retirement account, my registered retirement account, that one I won't be putting any money into. So $10,000. So I'm talking Canadian dollars. Here, $10,000 in my savings account, $7,000 contribution to my TFSA. And also, more on the business side, I would like to increase my business income by $30,000. So, my business right now is made of my financial coaching. As you guys know, you can book right now private coaching with me. My Calendly link is in the description here, and just to help you with your own wealth building. So I don't give any advice on what you should be buying or anything like that. The way my coaching are is mainly to help people really either get started with their wealth building journey or help them with any question that they might have. Because I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a financial planner. So I'm not telling you buy this share or buy this ETF. It's really for you to understand your own risk tolerance, your timeline, and what exactly you want to do with the account. So we talk about that. We go over a few things, and you make the decision yourself. So financial coaching is one part of my business. The Wealthy Black Woman Summit is another part of my business, and of course the YouTube channel that I have here right now, which is not monetized yet, but hopefully soon it will get monetized. And also I'm hoping to do more collaborations with fellow YouTubers in 2024 to really help for the visibility of my channel to grow. Um, let's see here. Natural ID, being intentional help as an American. Yes, investing tends to second. Yeah, investing tends to be second to invest. Is it investing tend to be second to saving? Just want to make sure that I understand it well. But yeah, I guess like I say, you guys are really good at saving. Definitely. I guess coming from yeah, to saving. Perfect. I got it. And so yeah, so I really want to channel my American spirit in 2024 and really focus more on saving, essentially. So I'll let you guys know. I'll give you update on this. So I'm doing the live not just to do the live and then forget about it for 2024, but I commit to give you a monthly update on how my money goals are progressing in 2024, and I'll let you know how much I've been putting aside for savings and everything. So I'm using you guys also as accountability partners here. And so that's the thing. The business income to increase by $30,000 in 2024. That is a stretch for me. That is a stretch, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to make this happen. I know it is possible. However, it's going to require a lot of my time. And like I said, This I'm a single mother of three young kids, and time is not really something that I have in abundance right now. And even if I have an additional time, sometimes I just prefer to sleep than like be doing anything that is related to the business. So that'll be something that I'll have to see. I think probably one thing that I will do is to seek specific coaching in line with what I want to achieve. And I think that's important because I'm not going to have time to learn everything on my own and being able to implement it right away. And so, in the word of Stephanie Perry, we need to be able to go and get shortcut. And to me, coaching, even people who come to me, they're looking for shortcut because sometimes the information they can find it themselves. And so, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of, okay, do you want to take 20 hours and search it for yourself, or talk to someone for 1 hour and being able to get the answers that are going to help you further, but definitely, not give you all the answers, but at least give you some tips or whatnot that is going to be helping you in your journey. And I think for me, that's what I'm going to go to. And I know I'm here talking about spending money in coaching when I'm actually wanting to save money at the same time. But to me, I'm looking at it as investment. So money that I'm going to be putting into coaching to be able to increase my business income, it's not spending to me. It is investing the same way as I'm actually putting money in an ETF or a share. I'm hoping that in the long term, medium to long term, it's gonna provide me with additional money. So let's see here. Which type of savings account would you use? Okay, so the savings that I've already opened it, by the way. Good question, Hope and Victory. I'm using a high interest savings account with an online bank. And to me, that's very important because I don't want to have access to that money. Once that money is in that specific savings account, it's out of sight, out of mind, and I don't want to have the possibility to go to an ATM to actually withdraw the money. So I have my bank account. I have my most of my accounts at a bank, but that specific account that I want to save the 10,000 in will be at a separate bank, an online bank, which is equivalent to either Ally or EQ Bank or something like that. So one of those online banks that don't have any physical presence, and I'm going to be, and usually will, well, right now they're offering 6%. They're offering 6%, so that's like huge. I hope they keep it for a long time. Although they're talking about central banks are talking about reducing interest rate in 2024, so that might come down a little bit, but still, 6% in a savings account is amazing, right? So to me, I'll be putting it in a high interest savings account, and that's what I would suggest you put your medium to long term saving account money into because that money is supposed to sit there for a long time. So you might as well make a bit of money from it. So natural ID, I'm touching and agreeing with you. Yes, 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 for my 2024 goals. So I know, like I say, those goals, I can feel the stretch as I'm talking about them, but honestly, I also think that I can actually, I can make it happen. So that's the third goal, which is essentially increasing my business income by $30,000. Now, the fourth goal, I do owe some money on my personal line of credit. And so I've never really been in a situation myself where I have, 40, $50,000 debt. But I've been in a position where I owe 5,000, 6,000, mainly on my line of credit, not on my credit cards. I don't carry credit card balance because those interest rates are just too crazy for me. I cannot wrap my head around why would I pay 21% interest to a bank just because they get to lend me money for a month or 2 months. So my line of credit has a better interest rate. It's interest only. My personal line of credit. So my personal line of credit and my HELOC are both interest only payment. So I do owe approximately $9,000 on my personal line of credit right now, which is, mainly some additional expenses that I had to incur this year, having to change my car, to a bigger car to accommodate 3 car seats. Those things that I just didn't see coming. I knew I was having twins, right? But it's just like putting everything in motion, and I just like, so I got hit by that. That's mainly actually the car, the 9,000. So I would like to pay that off, even if it's interest only, and the rate is really a very good rate right now. At the end of the day, it's still money that I owe, and I want to finish 2024 with no debt whatsoever, whether on my credit card or on my personal line of credit. On the HELOC, it's a bit different because it's house related. So if it's something that I need to get done with the house, then that's whatever. But like really for myself, my own consumption, I would like to pay off that 9,000 debt. So it's adding up, right? So we have the $10,000 savings, the $7,000 in, I believe you guys call it the Roth IRA, which is the TFSA for us, and then my increase my business income by $30,000, and pay off my $9,000 on my personal line of credit. And then the fifth goal is not so much for me, but for my kids. But I'm the one making the contribution. Is our registered education saving plan. So as soon as you have a child, even if the child is 1 day, you can go and open a registered education savings plan, which is equivalent to a 529 account for you guys in the USA. And so, what is good with that account is that if you contribute $2,500 a year, the government gives you $500 to a maximum of 7,200 over the lifetime of the account, and you can contribute a maximum of $50,000 to that account. The purpose of that account is mainly for education, for when your child goes to college, university, trades, anything that they're doing. As long as it qualifies, they can use the money in that account to fund their education. I don't know what my kids will do. My kids are very young right now. However, I'm not gonna pass on that $500 free given from the government. So that's what it is. So for my twins, I still haven't opened the register. So we call it RESP. I still haven't opened it because I need the social insurance number, and I don't know why things are taking so long right now in terms of processing. So I still don't have that. So if I don't get to open it this year, I'll open it next year. But my oldest already has these, and I've been contributing a minimum of 2,500 each year. So I've been getting that additional 500. So I'm gonna contribute the maximum each year until I get the whole 7,200, and maybe then after I will slow it down. But if I can do the maximum, the $50,000 in each of my kids' account, I will do that. I don't know how. I need to become a millionaire for that. Or maybe not, but still, again, everything is coming from one pocket, right? So that same pocket is paying the house, paying the groceries, and that same pocket who still wants to travel and do all that and have amazing experience with my kids, even if they're young, travel with them and do things. So the fifth goal is essentially contributing the maximum, which is 2,500 in each of my kids' accounts, to be able to get the government grant of $500 in there. Voila, those are the five goals, money goals that I have for myself this year. And as I'm sharing that with you, I don't know if you can see, there is sweat, because I put it out there now, right? So I can't take it back. This is a live. This is not a pre-recorded video. As soon as I'm done, it's gonna be out there. I mean, maybe I can go and delete after, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm very serious about this. I thought about it. It's very important for me, and so that's one thing that I'm doing. Those are high level. I still need to sit and see, the nitty gritty of stuff, how I'm going to be organizing my finances to make sure that I actually get to it. But let's see. So our investment contributions are automated, but we are building our startup into savings. Money is the number one indicator that we are ready to go. Yeah, savings and remote income. Exactamente, exactly. So H&D Abroad, if you guys haven't been following their channel, please go and subscribe. Ermin and his wife Dee right now are in the process of moving abroad, and 2024 is supposed to be the year for them not suppose. 2024 is the year that they're going to be moving abroad. So they're working on the final details right now. And as Dee just mentioned, money is the number one indicator because it's important. You don't want to be moving abroad anywhere and run out of money. That's not what we want. And that's why I actually decided against taking money from my investment or taking money from my HELOC or, as a matter of fact, from my personal line of credit to actually go down to Mexico for 6, 7 months and then come back to deal with the debt and still come back here, right? So hopefully when I get to move abroad in a few years, I'm moving abroad. I'm doing it in one direction. If I come back to Canada, that will be to visit because I still have family here, but not because I have to, because I run out of money. So hoping the best to you guys. I'll be following your journey. And again, you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel to see how they have been progressing for 2024. So I'm just wondering, would you consider life insurance that build cash value for your children to build wealth? I am torn with that. And so I haven't done a video on it, but I actually made a big change in my life insurance this year following the birth of the twins because I actually had one of those life insurance. It was a universal life insurance where essentially same as natural LID. Same here was building cash. But to be quite honest, I felt like it was expensive and not really providing the value that I wanted. Because so here's the thing: when you start mixing two type of products, it can become messy because universal life or whole life is essentially investment and insurance together. So it does work, I guess, for a very, very small percentage of the population, to be honest, universal life or whole life. But me, after thinking about it a little bit and reading more about it and whatnot, I just felt like it was not the best option for us. So I don't have that. I have a term life. That's the bulk of my insurance policy right now. I still have the universal life, but I've significantly decreased the contribution to it. So that policy might collapse at one point, so that'll become worthless. But essentially, the term life is the one that I'm going for. It's a 25 years. So I'm hoping that in 25 years my kids will be financially stable enough that I wouldn't have need to have a life insurance myself, and that by then anyway my investment would have grown to a point that for myself I'll be able to sustain myself. And so, yeah, that's a good question. I think that it really depends from one person to the other. But that's something that I thought that I needed because I'd had the universal life for a few years. But this year, I made some changes and essentially I went with the term life mainly. Actually, no, I think it's a 30 years. I went with a 30-year term life. So I hope that answered the question. If not, please let me know in the chat. I will clarify. Yay, Music Fever. Amazing goal, Sam. You got this. I hope, like I say, you guys will know. You guys will know, and you guys can tell me in the comments how I'm doing. But this is what I'm actually thinking right now. Thank you so much for the support. So yeah, I trust myself to grow my money. Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit in that boat too with D at this point, and it's just like and it depends again what insurance policy you have. I know for my policy, I was able to select which investment I wanted the money to be invested in, but there were just like a list, right? I couldn't select any investment that was not on the list that they provided me. So I'm like, you know what, I can do this by myself. So with the money that I'm actually saving by paying less in insurance, now that I'm actually doing that on purpose and automatically investing it, but if that's something that essentially you think that will work better for you, let's say if you were to pay $200 for universal life, but you're paying just $50 for term life, then take the $115 difference per month and invest it in something that you're more comfortable with and you have that flexibility to do it yourself if you're comfortable doing it yourself. So it's a very tricky topic, and but for me, like I said, I thought that I needed an universal life, but turns out that I don't need it. So I made some changes to it. Hopefully I get to do a video about that to really let you guys know what changes I made about I made for my insurance policy, and few things that maybe you want to know before you go get an insurance policy. Uh, so okay, perfect. So I answered that question. Perfect. So anyway, that was really it. Like I said, feel free, even if you don't feel comfortable in the chat now, but you could come back later in the comment. And maybe you haven't had a chance to really think about your money goals for 2024, but those are my money goals for 2024. Like I said, those are stretch goals for me. However, I know, I just have to trust God that this is actually possible. Pray and do the work. Do the work. So it's written. I need to put a plan in place and do the work, essentially. So as I go, I'll let you know essentially how I'm hoping to achieve that. But one thing that I'm definitely going to do, and if that's something that is interesting to you guys, let me know. 2024 is going to be a low spend year for me. So at first, I wanted to be a no spend year. But like I say, I'm starting this new year in a position that I've never been, with like three young kids, two starting daycare, which is going to cost money, and me going back to work. And so I need to for my first quarter of 2024 will be just me figuring out, okay, with this kid starting daycare and me going back to work, which might bring additional expenses. How are my finances? And then decide where I go from there. But one thing that I can do, even if I cannot do a no spend year, I can do a low spend year. So the low spend year for me will be really to be really intentional about my expenses and really making sure that the expenses that I'm making are in line with my values and not really going against things that I really want to achieve. And that's going to be on a daily basis, because let's be honest, we get like solicited so much on our money all the time, all the time. Even if you don't go out, you just have to open your phone, go on your laptop, you get bombarded, and there are so many temptations. And I'm just a human myself. I do fail, I fell for those temptations as well. And sometimes I'm just like, I just didn't need it. I did not need it, right? So it will be a low spend year for me, and I think I'll take it month by month. Like I said, January is my birthday month, and so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to do. I tend to take it as my birthday week, birthday month. So I'm really, really, really easy peasy in January. So we'll see how that goes. But really, I want to do a low spend year. And same thing, I'll be giving you updates here regularly on how my low spend year is going. Things that definitely I purchased that I didn't have any business purchasing. I'm not sure if I'll do it as a regular video or as shorts. I'll have to say, because I don't want to be just on a live here and go through all of my expenses. But I think at the beginning of each month, I'll be like, okay, what is the focus this month? This is the focus. And some months in there will be no spend. But not all the 12 months of the year. That's why I'm not making it a no spend year. I'm making it a low spend year. And I think with that, I will be able to save money, because I don't know if you guys have seen my videos and how long you have been following me, but I've done low spend months in the past, and it does work. It does work. It works wonder. Now, I haven't done 2 months in a row or 3 months in a row, leave alone an entire year. But I think if I was by myself, just me, I think I would be able to really commit to a no spend year. But I have my kids, and I want to make sure that they fed and clothed, and I might fall prey to some buying gifts for kids and things like that. I'm not so good at buying gifts for myself. I'm not really a thing person. I'm more of an experience person. Like I like to go to restaurants, to spa. I like to travel. I consume it, and that's it. Versus my family knows that they'll buy something to me, and then it will sit in the box for months and months. And I'm like, did I really need it? Right? So I'm not really a thing person. I've come to realize I'm not a thing person. I'm more of an experience person. So that's why I think it'll be just easy for me to not buy stuff for myself. But when it comes to the kids, they need stuff, and I want to be in a position to buy the stuff for them. So we'll see how that goes. Again, that's just on one single income. And I'm not making like crazy money. I consider that I make like essentially middle class money. So I need to be really diligent with my money. So that will be a low spend year. Let's see here. I hope that you guys are encouraging me for the low spend year. Let's see. Trust and faith without work is right, right. Like they say, you trust him, but you get to do the work. So I trust him and I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the work, right? So um, thank you so much, Natural LID and HND. Low spend year is doable. I have to have time away, so travel will be thoughtful. Yes. Oh, house sitting. That's good. So I have talking about traveling. I have maybe three trips right now that I have scheduled. That I have scheduled that I know I want to take the kids on three trips, and so those trips, I want them to happen regardless of the money goals because again, travel is very as important to me. Uh, it's really something that I enjoy. It's a way for me to um, grow as a person, and I really want to expose my kids to that at an early age. When I went down to Mexico with my he was 3 year old at the time, my oldest, he was 3 year old. Within a couple of months, he was speaking Spanish. He still speaks Spanish until now. One of my nannies is actually Mexican, so when she comes, I tell her to speak Spanish to him. Until now, he's still speaking Spanish. That would have never happened had I stayed here to have the kids. And I know that even if we're not right now in a Spanish speaking environment, whenever we go back, even for like a couple of weeks or whatnot, it will pick up on it quickly, right? It will pick up on it quickly. And I've always wanted to learn Spanish. I always wanted to live in a Spanish environment, and I never really gave myself a chance for that. So my moving abroad, I can tell you guys, will be somewhere in Latin America. I'm thinking probably either Mexico, Costa Rica, or Ecuador. Those are like the top three, but we'll see how things go. And so for me, it's really important for me when I leave Canada to go in a Spanish speaking environment, and I think Latin America will be it. And before I get to do my full move abroad, I want to be able to take the kids on trips somewhere in Latin America and somewhere else as well. So traveling will be important for us, definitely. Doing scouting trips in a way to just like check out places and see how things go down there. I'll be sharing that with you as well. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. That 2024. I'm not telling you where we're going just yet and when, but when we're getting closer or whatnot, I'll be sharing for sure, and also sharing the experience with you guys on how things are wherever we're going, and especially traveling with kids because that's another challenge in itself. So yeah, so and then yeah, low spend year. Okay, thumbs up. Yeah, so that's really the goal for really making sure that I keep my money in my pockets. It will be really to be intentional with my money and just making sure that my spending is in line with my values. And I say that, and of course it will be for the bigger expenses, but also for the smaller one. Like the small. Sometimes you go and you buy that. Honestly, that $1.25 chocolate bar. First of all, I should not be eating that. And second, I know it's just $1.25, but times maybe I don't know 50 of them that I'm gonna buy over the year. And, it's a bit of change, and that's just one example. And so sometimes people think, oh no, that's not gonna help. We need to try. And I've tried over a month, and now I want to try for a longer period of time and see how that goes. And I'm hoping that you guys, keep me accountable for this, and really, and same thing, I also want to help you achieve your own money goals. So, like I said, feel free to share in the comment whenever you think about it. You have time to think about your money goals, and then come back here. I will not hold you too hard to it, but I think that it's really beautiful when you have people supporting you in things that you actually want to accomplish. So there you have it. I'm not sure if you have any questions, comments, and Natural ID saying here, journaling your challenges, successes, lessons can be helpful. And that is true. That is so true. Honestly, writing is such a powerful thing to do, especially when you want to accomplish something. And some people find journaling hard, and I'm like, just write it down. Don't label it as journaling. Just say you're taking notes or you're just writing something down. Whenever it comes in your mind, just write it down, and that's pretty much it. And I think it's important to write down so after you can go back to it, because we tend to forget how challenging things were, and also celebrating the wins, even the smallest one. Like, we tend to focus so much on the big win, forgetting that the small ones are the ones that are going to really help us stay the course and making it through, right? So for me, if I can go to do my groceries, so not for the time I order in line, but I go in store to go do my groceries and really stick to my list and not get to buy any cookies and not get to buy any chocolate, it is a win. It is a win for my health. It is a win for my wealth, in terms of my financial wealth. I didn't get to spend money that I didn't need to spend on something that really my body did not need to eat, right? It's a small win, but honestly, it's feeding into me having continuous good health and me essentially keeping more money in my pocket. So, along with journaling all the challenges and the successes and the lesson, not only journal them, but also pat yourself on the back. I'm not saying go out there and, like, spend the money and everything, but really take the time to say, oh, good job. You just did this and you kept the money in your pocket. You didn't buy that thing that you didn't need. Good job. So you're reinforcing the good behavior, right? Because then your mind become just addicted to be congratulated, and you're like, okay, well, next time I'm gonna do it again, and then you're like, wow, good job. So and then it becomes a habit. It becomes much easier, essentially. So we all of us, all of the habits we have today are like a result of sometimes uh, um, things that we have gone through, or things that society have imposed on us. But that doesn't mean that we cannot change. That doesn't mean that we cannot do things differently. And so it's really, at the end of the day, what do you want? What makes you tick, right? And so I agree with that 100%. Music fever. Yay. Okay. I need to build up my emergency bank back and up to 8,000. Good. Amazing. And so I wish you that. And I think it's an amazing goal. And hopefully that you take the time to break it down. I think it's important to really break it down, each goal, because 8,000 can be overwhelming, and then you'd be like, where am I gonna find the money? And so just have a plan for it. And automation is one way, right? So if you're breaking down, you're like, oh, I just need to put 100. Let's say an example, $200 each pay aside, and then that's gonna come up to 8,000. I'm not sure how much that comes out to, but just to give you an example, you can break it down to your payday, your paycheck, and just be able to see how much is that each paycheck, or like maybe you have a side hustle, something like that. So amazing goal, great. So you said it, it's right here, right now. Low spending year is a good idea. I could benefit from being a bit more intentional about my expenses next year. This will allow me to spend the money on things that matters. Exactly, my goals. So one thing that I haven't done in years, and this might be a school, and someone can be like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm sure." I haven't bought like a piece of clothing. Like it's been years that I haven't bought like clothing. Like of course I bought, like, when I was pregnant, I needed like new bras or whatever. But like, to buy something, be like, oh wow, this is pretty. I'm just gonna buy it because maybe because we started working from home or whatnot. But I think last year, when I had to declutter my house before going down to Mexico, boxes and boxes and boxes and bags and boxes that I donated of clothes and shoes. And I don't know, there was so much stuff in this house. I was like, this is like money down the drain, taking up space. And so I promised myself that I don't want to be in that situation again. And I have clothing. We live in a country where we have 4 seasons. I have clothing for all of the seasons. I've been living here for years and years and years. I have clothing for all of the seasons. And luckily, I haven't changed so much in size, except when I'm pregnant, to need to need like a different size of clothing. And so I'm like, honestly, when people do like all of the promotions for like buy clothing or buy, it just doesn't do anything to me. All of the clothes that I've gotten in my closet in the last years, probably donated to me either by my sister or like my mom or friends. It just like donated to me. Not that I need it, but they're like, oh, I have this. I bought it. Doesn't fit me. I think it will fit you well. And then I look at it. Okay, it's nice. And then I take it. It doesn't cost me anything. And so I think just that is already saving me a ton of money. So I'm gonna continue on that because it's been working well for me. I don't need additional clothing and shoes. Shoes. I have like I have like bins and bins of shoes, boots, shoes, any type of shoes. I'm a shoe woman, but I bought so many shoes over the years. Again, I don't need more. At this point, actually, I don't even know if I fit in most of those shoes. So we'll see. We'll see how things are. But I'll say that for the past 2 years, I've been very, very, very good, and so I don't see why that will change. Essentially, going forward. Natural ID, yeah. Writing or journaling is also something that you can pass down to other generations so they can get a heads up and learn from your mistakes and wisdom. Good point. I wasn't saying it like that, but that is a very good point as well, right? Because your the next generation will get to see that, and that could also help them. I think it's a valid point. But definitely, if you don't want to call it journaling, just call it something else. But I do believe there is a power to putting pen to paper. My saving goals for 2024 is 15K. Hope and victory. Woo! Great. So far we have savings goal, right? Music Fever 8K, myself 10K, Hope and victory 15K. This is amazing. I think I'm getting all excited because I thought I was the only one, in this boat trying to have money goals. But I'm hoping that you have some. And if you don't have some, that's perfect. You don't have to, but I do believe that most people have some money goals. And again, like I say, just saying it and then writing it down and having a plan for it, that's really what's going to help you going forward. And then the investment goal is to achieve an additional 35K. Open victory. I wish that for you. I'm not sure if you are in Canada or in the US, but in Canada, I'm assuming either RSP or TFSA. But I totally wish that for you. So for you, 15K savings account, 35K investment account. And on those videos that I'll be doing to give an update on my money goals, if you're not on the live and you're sharing your money goals here, feel free to come in the comment and let us know how that has been going for you, and if there is any way the community can support you in this journey, because sometimes it can be lonely, especially if in your close friends or family people don't are not doing it, and you find yourself the only one doing it. It can be challenging, right? Because my family doesn't know yet, but I'm not sure that I actually want to do gift giving next year for birthdays. I have a big family. I have siblings, a lot of siblings. And so when it comes to birthday, I'm like, maybe, if I can skip that, I get to keep my money, I get to save my money. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking of doing no gift giving next year. This year I already suggested to them and they accepted to do no gift giving for Christmas. So we're having an amazing family dinner, which is going to be great because everybody's going to come in town. So that'd be nice because we live in different cities. So, that's really what it is, right? To get together and enjoy time together. And so, in trying to find ways to save money already, I'm like, oh, maybe next year I'll suggest no gift giving. But I don't know how that will apply because I have young siblings, and for them it's important to get something or at least to get money. And so maybe I'll just have to still do gift giving. I'll see how that works. I'll see maybe if I have an opportunity to suggest that. But anyway, so there you have it. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't done it yet, please like this video. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Share this video with anyone that you know, maybe is someone who's planning on putting in place money goals, so they can also come in the comment and share their money goals, and we can really motivate each other in what we're trying to achieve here. Not trying, in what we want to achieve here. one thing that I'm trying to that I really want to make sure of is to use the right word when I'm talking. And so sometimes I use try and try. I don't really like that because it's like, oh, you can be trying until you die, right? So I want to be more, um, how to say, be more affirmative, like affirm more uh, when I'm actually sharing things. So one more here, and so my gift giving is more intentional. Gift that keeps on giving, yeah, like stockpile, etc., or something that like, yeah. I think anyway. Well, I have to say, like I say, it's still in my head right now. I don't know how they will say it. I'm not sure if we can do something else instead of just like giving the money. Um, we shall see. It's just one thing that I had in my mind right now. So there you have it. Again, thank you so much for being here, sharing the time with me. And next week I'll be talking about actually. So next week, come back. I won't be talking about any heavy topic like money next week. Maybe a little bit, but I'm going to be telling you on those Mexican beaches. So if I know that if I go down to Latin America, if I go down to Mexico, I like to be close to the beach. So I was in Playa del Carmen. I don't think that I'll go back to Playa del Carmen just yet. I feel like it's not family friendly the way I want it, especially if you have young kids like mine, maybe a bit older kids. But I've been researching on other Mexican beach cities that might be a good option for me. So I'll share that with you next year in case you are looking at traveling, going down to Mexico, and you're looking for a beach city, like affordable one. I think like less than $1,500 or less than $2,000 to be able to live there. That'll be what I'll be sharing next week, same time, Wednesday. Will be Wednesday, December 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until next time, you guys will have already passed Christmas. So I wish you a Merry Christmas, as Natural Lady is saying it here. Happy holidays and season greeting to all. Essentially, and so I won't say New Year yet because I'll be back next week, but I know that Christmas will be already done by the time we talk. So Merry Christmas. I hope that you were good this year, that you're gonna be spoiled by Santa. And thank you again for watching. And until next time, keep on building wealth.